Did you know the first black woman to run for president of the United States did it back in 1972, decades before Kamala Harris, and wasn't afraid to say she'd rather be hated than ignored? This is the fearless, untold story of Shirley Chisholm, a political icon who was unbought, unbossed, and absolutely unstoppable. Stay with us as we take you on a journey through the powerful life of a woman who changed American politics forever. Discover the untold history behind the headlines. Learn how she overcame racism, sexism, and political resistance. Get a glimpse into her personal life, her home, and the values that shaped her legacy. And find out how her impact continues to influence generations of leaders today. Let's dive into the extraordinary life of Shirley Chisholm. Shirley Anita St. Hill was born in Brooklyn, New York, on November 30th, 1924. Her parents were immigrants, her mother from Barbados, her father from Guyana. When Shirley was just 3 years old, she was sent to live with her grandmother in Barbados. It was there, in the small village of Vauxhall, that she first experienced the discipline and high educational standards of a strict British school system. She later said those early years in Barbados shaped the rest of her life. She returned to Brooklyn at age 10 with a sharp mind, a bold voice, and a strong sense of identity. Shirley excelled in school, graduating from Brooklyn College in 1946. While there, she joined the debate team, where she quickly became known for her fierce intelligence and commanding presence. Despite being told politics wasn't for women, especially not black women, she pushed forward. After college, Shirley became a nursery school teacher and went on to earn a master's degree in elementary education from Columbia University in 1952. She worked her way up to become a director of child care centers, fighting for educational equity long before it was a national conversation. She was deeply involved in her community, joining the NAACP, the Urban League, and local Democratic clubs. Her leadership didn't go unnoticed. She was smart, determined, and impossible to ignore. People began urging her to run for office. In 1964, Shirley Chisholm ran for, and won, a seat in the New York State Assembly. She was one of just a few black women in state politics at the time. But she had bigger ambitions. In 1968, in the middle of the Civil Rights Movement, the Vietnam War, and a changing America, Shirley made history. She became the first black woman elected to the United States Congress. Her campaign slogan was bold and unforgettable: Unbought and Unbossed. She represented New York's 12th congressional district in Brooklyn, a diverse working-class community. From day one, she made waves. Her colleagues in Congress didn't know what to do with her. Many tried to sideline her. She was initially assigned to the Agriculture Committee, a post that made no sense for an urban district. But Shirley fought back, demanded reassignment, and eventually helped expand food programs for poor families across America. In Congress, she championed racial justice, gender equality, education, healthcare, and poverty programs. She introduced more than 50 pieces of legislation during her 7 terms. And she didn't shy away from confrontation. She spoke out against the Vietnam War. She challenged the Democratic Party's lack of diversity, and she refused to play political games. Then came 1972. Shirley Chisholm announced she was running for President of the United States. It shocked the nation. She wasn't just the first black candidate to seek the nomination from a major party. She was also the first woman to run for the Democratic nomination. Her campaign faced enormous resistance, not just from white political leaders, but also from black male colleagues who didn't think a woman should lead. She had little funding, no support from the Democratic establishment, and even struggled to get Secret Service protection. Her staff consisted of volunteers who believed in her message and protected her themselves. Despite the odds, she stayed in the race longer than anyone expected. She ran on a progressive platform that included universal child care, fair wages, access to health care, and ending the war in Vietnam. She didn't win the nomination, but that wasn't the point. Her run was historic. Her voice made millions listen, and she showed every girl and every black child that the White House wasn't off limits. Even her opponents had to admit. She brought issues to the table that had been ignored for far too long. But Shirley wasn't done. Back in Congress, she continued pushing for justice. She co-founded the Congressional Black Caucus in 1971 and the National Women's Political Caucus in 1972. Not all of her choices were popular. She visited segregationist Governor George Wallace in the hospital after an assassination attempt. Many criticized her. But Shirley said compassion wasn't political, it was human. Her willingness to stand by her principles made her both admired and isolated. Many bills she introduced never passed. But her presence changed the institution. She showed up every day, unapologetically black, unapologetically female, and unafraid. Away from the spotlight, Shirley lived a modest life. She was married twice, first to Conrad Chisholm, then to Arthur Hardwick Jr., a fellow politician. She had no children, but mentored many. She didn't own luxury homes or massive wealth. Her net worth remained relatively small throughout her life. But her influence was priceless. After retiring from Congress in 1983, she taught at Mount Holyoke College and continued to speak around the world. President Jimmy Carter offered her an ambassadorship, but she turned it down. She valued her independence too much. In 2005, Shirley Chisholm passed away at the age of 80. She was buried in Florida. Her tombstone reads exactly how she lived, unbought and unbossed. 10 years later, President Barack Obama awarded her the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Her legacy lives on in the countless women and men she inspired, leaders like Kamala Harris, Ayanna Pressley, and Stacey Abrams. Her story continues to be told in classrooms, documentaries, and soon on the big screen. Shirley Chisholm didn't just break barriers. She bulldozed through them with fire and grace. She taught us that you don't need permission to lead. You just need purpose. So the next time someone tells you one person can't make a difference, tell them about Shirley Chisholm. If you were inspired by her story, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell so you never miss stories of Black excellence that shaped our world. And let us know in the comments, who should we feature next? Because these stories matter, and they deserve to be told. Thank you for watching.